What's going on, people? Proof here, and today I'm bringing you a brand new recruiting report based on the brand new Spike Brothers unit that we got revealed today during the stream. And as always, I took some time to think about different plays and combos and try to get you guys the best information that I can on the new unit that was revealed. And the unit that was revealed is Air Force Eliza, and first female unit that was revealed for the set. And she's a brand new charge unit. So, of course, as you guys know, charge is active when they're called from a skill or called from an effect, so you can put them in charge. And she says, Generation Break 1, Counter Blast 1. At the end of the battle that this unit boosted a rear guard with the charge ability, you may pay the cost. If you do, bind the boosted unit face up, call that card to an open rear guard circle. Excuse me. And if she's charging, the unit that you call back from the bind zone gets plus 2,000 power until the end of turn, and then you put her at the bottom of your deck. So a lot of things going on right here. And so got my trusty notes right here. And the first thing I want to mention is that her put to the bottom ability is tied to her counterblast cost. It's not tied to her being in charging state. That's an important distinction because it can help put her back to the bottom regardless, as long as you pay the cost. And then I think she's a pretty strong unit. I find her stronger than Full Speed Spectre in the grade 1 slot that I reviewed just the other day over the weekend. And the reason I feel that way is because she offers really strong combo potential on your first drive turn, especially, notably with lethal forward, other units like Devil Watch, Heave Wheeze. And the thing I want to mention for those cards that for lethal forward, what she does is that, say you have a scenario where, let's say you're on Danfer Lily and you have Danfer on Vanguard, you can call Eliza into your open booster slot in the back row. And when you attack with Vanguard, you use Rise and Nova skill, and you call lethal forward in front of Eliza. And so, say in this scenario you have a second counterblast available. If lethal forward hits, and when lethal forward hits, you can call a second Eliza to the opposite rear guard back row. You can call a Double Watch to the opposite back row. You can anything that's a booster with charge, you can put it in that back slot, and then you activate Eliza's ability, and you counterblast 1, you bind lethal forward, and you call lethal forward into the opposite rear guard circle where you put the new booster at. So now you have 7 from Devil Watch, if that's what you call, plus 18 because an 11k. You have another, at the very least, an 18k attacker that you just call with on hit pressure to the opposite side. And so that's pretty strong, especially on that first drive when they're trying to do what they can to keep them from getting higher in damage so that you're not building up to like some big potential turn later in the future. And so in that instance, she's really strong. And I also thought about what relevance does her 2k buff have if she's in charge at the time you use her ability. And the couple things that I thought about was, 1, it can make Heave Wheeze a 21k attacker, so it becomes a secondary dobe. It makes Cobalt Impulse an 11k attacker unboosted, if you find that relevant. And it makes Devil Watch a 9k attacker with his charging ability, which means he can hit a rear guard freely, provided that they're 9k, of course. And then you can soul charge 1, unflip 1, and get the counterblast back from her in that instance. Excuse me. And another important distinction is that it doesn't matter if the attack hits or not, she can still do her ability. So that also has good relevance with the likes of Dobe as well, because say you call out Dobe and he's charged, you boost with her for 26 plus 7, 33, and regardless if that Dobe attack hits or not, you can counterblast 1, bind the Dobe, call back the Dobe, and now he's in charge again for another 21k attack. Excuse me. So for 2 counterblasts, you get a Vanguard swing, a 33K attack, and then another 21K attack behind it, which can also offer some good pressure on your opponent. So I think she's really strong for your first dry turn. And then beyond that, if your deck is focused on Miracle Ace, then she just becomes another charge unit for Miracle Ace to keep restanding Frog Raider over and over again. So let's see what else I got here. The trusty notes. So I just wanted to mention, back in the Mecha Coach, I mentioned how he says your charge in rear guard versus her wording which says rear guard with the charge ability. And that's an important distinction there, because if she said a charge in rear guard, that means that you couldn't just have a unit placed in front of her from your hand and still be able to do the ability. You'd have to call it out through a skill. But with her wording, you can just freely call something out in front of her and then bind it so she can force charge on something, a la Axe Diver. And I also want to mention, like, at first I didn't think too highly of her. I thought she was like pre-lethal forward Axe Diver, kind of in that position. But the more I thought about it, like, I think she could be a pretty strong unit in the grand scheme of things. And it's pretty strong for a common card, in my opinion. Let's see what else I got here. And a negative is that, of course, it has a CB cost, a counterblast cost, and that hurts, but it still leads me to believe strongly that Bushiroad is going to give us a charge version of either Devil Watch in the grade 2 position, or a charge version of Jumbo, the stun gun, being hopefully it's a 9K. I don't know why they try to curb that, but I guess they feel the 2,000 or the 5,000 power, the additional power boost coming from all around can help mitigate some of that. But I strongly feel that there's going to be a grade 2 version of Jumbo the stun gun available, or Devil Watch in the grade 2 position coming up in the future. That's mainly what I have. So to recap, she has good combo potential on your first dry turn. She has good combo potential with a lot of your main charge units such as Dobe, Devil Watch, Heave Wheeze, now Lethal Forward. She makes a decent booster because she's active regardless if you put her in charge or not. Just the extra bonus if she is charging is there. Let's see. CB cost hurts, but that's giving us hope for the future. And so I hope I covered it well. Let me know if I missed anything along the way. Hopefully I covered it well enough to let you guys get a feeling for it. And in terms of rating from 1 to 5, I feel she's better than Full Speed Spectre, who I gave a 2 out of 5. So I will put her in like that 2.5, 3 range, like middle of the road, decent or not decent, good or bad. And so, of course, with these ratings, they're preliminary. And so I give myself the right to fix them in the future should things come out that bump them up in the future. I said that poorly, but I think hope you get it. And so that'll do it for this recruiting report. And until next time, guys, I'm the coach, Coach Proof. Peace, be easy.